taking a peek at the rosters, starting with SWOSU Blue on this side. Samsara, Sugar Free, Rec, Griff, and Clarity going to be rounding out this roster in the Challengers Southeast, division. And on the other side, Orbital, take me through it.
Yeah, we are going to have a lovely set of players here. It is going to be Shaq, Slapini, Drift UD, and No Link DC, as well as Clarky.
At the veto, the picks and bans, and see what we're left with. I gotta keep it a buck, Orbital. Surprised that Haven is gone so quickly. I've been used to seeing that every time. So very much, I'm looking to Rogers State to kind of make a statement here, but we have to take what we're given, and well, at this point, Southwestern Oklahoma State, they're the ones kind of leading the charge in this division at 3-0. And so as we get down to business, the good news for SWOSU is that they get to start on the attacker side. I alluded to it in the pregame show there, but yeah, there's a lot of attacking favorability on this map.
Still very heavy-handed, and I mean, I have also seen some very fun situations where it just goes straight back to solo queue, especially with raises. I think just last week I watched a team quite literally just say, let's play solo queue, and rust a shoddy with that. However, right now, Rogers coming out with a strong defense, 2 taken off the board with little to no revenge strikes. SWOSU completely shut down over on A-push.
Yeah, that control out towards root, towards rubble, often a huge part of winning this map or taking that control, whether it be early or late. And SWOSU, they gathered that control, but at a very heavy price. Rogers State spreading back out, and we're going to see some Sarah just kind of walking right into the B site. A lot of space here to find a free kill.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could get a quick play and at least get the money down. It looks like it will be given, so Rogers State willing to ensure that they have complete control of the rest of the map, and they're now going to 3 to 4 point in. Clarity was ready, though, had this Clarity set. Slapini misses the first shot, but is able to get the other right click, and now Clarky follows suit. Clarity is taken out, down to a 1v4, and Rec is about to get wrecked. You are 3 prime, trying to fire away, and now the bullet storm comes through. You get 1 before you fall, but it is going to be a nice one. Rogers go ahead and take round number 1.
Off the back of that control, they were able to spread out, just spread that defense, make sure that everywhere had players to contend with, and sure, SWOSU at least get a plant into that round, but nothing much more off the back of that. Even kills in the post plant were few and far between. I think they just picked up the one there at the very end, so we'll see the eco, pretty much pure eco. Clarity's actually got some shields along with the classic, so I'd say a little weird, but
it's the please don't one-tap me if you possibly can. If you shoot me in the body, maybe I live with a slight HP. It's the, I'll grab a little bit for right now, though. Going ahead, grabbing the orb. Now testing out the C side as well. Could go through the door, which is an option for 2, and looking for that B hit once again. And again, Rogers just going, I mean, take your time. Have fun. We got the guns.
No reason to get ultra aggressive. No reason to find yourself in a bad position because of that, and that's what I'm enjoying here for Rogers State to begin with, just taking some good initial engagements. Drifted, fortunately missing a couple of shots, but hey, the orb comes in and they can reset back to elbow.
For right now, still trying to test the waters. You can see with that curve of the waters, it's sectioning off the back end, and that's actually forcing Rogers to rotate over. They heard a little bit more noise over here on C, but now it's another call of SWOSU rotating around. They did this once, they did it twice, and now they're doing it for a 3rd time. However, it is far along this A site. No one on Rogers is willing to rotate just yet. Until now, they hear the footsteps, they understand the calls, and it's going to be a give until that plant goes down.
This late rotation working wonders for them. The high tide goes up to cover off the entry. And I think a Cove going down onto the planter more than likely. This Trailblazer. Shaq's gathering information. Sees what's going on. The guiding light to follow. Dropping down. It's a great crossfire as Sugar Free activates for 2. But now, given their position away, and it's just up to 2 remaining members here. Samsara from one side, Griff the other. With Griff down, though, Nolan is able to connect. It got a little expensive at the end there, Orbital, but job well done.
And surprising enough, I would like to point out that SWOSU actually had very good coverage towards that end there. You actually saw the likes of a little bit of a back end. Sad Samsara could have had a kill or a two in the back of Rogers. However, without the right guns, you had the right click of that classic and couldn't really do too much with it. So SWOSU had the playbook correct, just weren't able to really get those kills at the end. So Rogers, as he said, a little bit more expensive. This one, it's running with 3 pistols and then 2 hero rifles with some light shields and heavy. And I mean, SWOSU, this feels like it's theirs to take.
Yeah, it absolutely is. With the weaponry especially at hand, it's going to be that fast control to root. Getting out towards Rubble is Griff alongside with the Rays on the other side of that. Clarity. And Clarity actually along with the spam. Damage done with the paint shells. Will dispatch with the opening engagement. Rogers State in trouble.
Feels great to get that kill without too much of a worry. I think the wall was up as well. And as he was saying, that spam kill off screen. So Rogers are working with one less player with the door open there, and that one way gives way for Sugar Free to drop Drifted into a little deathless state. 3v5 now as SWOSU are slowly picking off their opponents.
Rogers State still have a chance to win this. They've got to make the right decision. They've stacked 2 towards B right now, and they've left just this one player at A. Free shot, but a missed shot for Clarky, unfortunately, and that's going to mean the death for No Link on the site. That essentially seals Orbital. I don't see a way back in, even though the spike is late in rotation. There's just no realistic manner in which these sheriffs can make their way back in. Not sure what this Killjoy has to work with weaponry-wise, but gonna have to do a lot of heavy lifting.
Looks like you're working with at least one of the rifles, but I mean, that will happen very quickly. Griff and Rex say it doesn't matter what you got. We have the lockdown, and it is clean. SWOSU with a flawless round carry all 5 Vandals as well as all armors over. I think only 1 or 2 of them really got tagged, and for that fact, Rogers are going up full stack. There is no piece that will be given to them. It is evens across the board.
But hey, look, Rogers, they didn't invest very much into that last round. They didn't have all of their weaponry. They didn't have everything at their disposal. Heck, Drifted didn't even have armor. So this round, maybe to be a little bit different. See what Rogers can do. It's going to be the same aggressive move for Clarity out towards Rubble as this, I think we're going to see pretty consistently for SWOSU. This seems to be their default towards A. Take some control towards Rubble, take some control towards Root, and ensure that they have this space to work with and they can move from there.
And for right now, it's giving just a glimmer of information. Tree side is currently clear, at least on the inside, and now a little bit of a bird back says no, it's not as clear as you think. Doorway currently over here in Link might be challenging. Clarky says you can't really challenge me as much as you want because those kills are flying through, holding down that pinch, now in close proximity to each other. No Link saying, hey, I have a chance, but blinded out here, has to get behind the wall. It's a fire and trial and tribulations between the 2 flashers, and they are just not letting either team see.
Seeing just half the battle. Sometimes you got to hear and Samsara stomping all around. Slampini should be hearing this. Knowing actually does connect the shot through the dark cover as well. Time taking away an Orbital. This might be a problem. Knowing's just got it straight through into the site inside the dark cover. Gets a shot quickly as Griff gets flanked, but Griff's still alive, working to try and 1v3, but denied after just that second one. The fuse comes in, and Rogers State, they have it.
I mean, that was messy, but it worked, right? Rogers are happy with that outcome. They get the round. They shut down a little bit of what SWOSU were starting to do. However, of course, SWOSU did not invest anything into that previous round, so it's another gun round, and instead it's actually Rogers that are on the back end of the economy setup. However, very, very well done, forcing SWOSU into a little bit of a desperation play, and they at least got the plant. But it was so far rushed than what they were most likely hoping to do this time around. Once they're done testing out the sides and the default, maybe we get to see another chance. However, we are seeing a little bit of an interesting setup.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this, to be entirely honest with you, Orbital. You won the round. You have to try and push that advantage, giving SWOSU an opportunity to get around where you could be investing, even if it isn't the most ideal. Feels like a bit of a mistake. That being said, decision made. Gotta try and make it work, and the Sheriff in hand, the Reckoning to deal with. Salpini, and trouble has to fall away.
It feels kind of bad. They noticed that that was happening, and now on the C site, first real push coming out of SWOSU, and they are living for it. They got one kill, now get the plant, no one really challenging just yet, and Rogers are going to have to fight back. Look at that lineup, though. Drifted trying to walk their way forward, but it's full guns online. Remember, Rogers were not able to invest as much as they would have liked, and because of that, those Sheriffs are not going to do enough. SWOSU live with 4, take the round, and push to just 1 behind.
I mean, the good news is that they, decided to kind of half save there. I don't necessarily think that's the play I would have made, but the good news is that I don't know that guns would have helped them in that retake.
True.
What a difficult situation that SWOSU put them in. So that sort of post plant usually going to be a guarantee, and now they got another crack at it without, the Reckoning to deal with, or even further ultimates. Really, just that from the shadows is all that SWOSU have available to them at the outset of the round. Rogers State, on the other hand, they've got tools at their disposal.
And Rogers, for all that they've done, have actually been very good at those retakes. They've been able to enter into sites most times that we've seen. Not just that, taking a look, the Seekers are going to give so much information. You also take a look at that KJ lockdown. This is going to be pivotal if they wish to not sacrifice a player on top of that site. Right now, we are seeing that bounce. Clarky, though, challenging out in the duelist role. Not able to get too much, but trying to run away. Gets the smoke down and is allowed to live. Sapini, while everyone was looking at Clarky, gets a great headshot on the Griff, and now it leaves it in a 4v5. No link, ready to go, and the plant is going to go down, but SWOSU are ready with the ults.
From the shadows, straight over from A, in towards the C site for the retake, immediately able to take these engagements. Rec going to win the first duel, but goes down to the trade with Sugar Free still on the site. There's time to work with, not looking the right way. Shax got to deal with Sugar Free, and it's all over. SWOSU just taking advantage of no one checking that corner.
And that, I hesitate sometimes to call out mistakes, but when someone gets killed like that, you gotta be aware that someone's around that corner. Allowing Sugar Free to get 3 kills in that situation feels super bad, especially with your expenditure. Yeah, that was rough, and now Rogers are stuck in that situation once again. They let 2 rounds go away. SWOSU are building up a decent econ advantage, and I mean, Rogers are now up a creek without a paddle.
Yeah, that's just a clear breakdown in the communications. Whether whoever died initially, I didn't see who it was, just didn't realize where they died from, or just didn't get the communication out and it didn't come through. Whatever the mistake was, it was a mistake, and it's a big one that allows SWOSU to equalize here at 3 apiece. Not only that, Rogers, so they've been gathering this opening pick in this round. Might be in some trouble here. Maybe not. This Marshall is certainly doing some work, and with the blades activated, maybe the trouble is actually for SWOSU, not the other way around.
Well, okay, don't cast a curse just yet, because Griff decided to rip one back down to a 4v4. The heal did go through. As he said, the Marshall did not get the kill, and so from 3, it's up. However, Clarity, you can't be jumping like that. Drifted says, thank you very much. I just found a rabbit in the back line. 3v4, and now looking for another Drifted, trying to get that Stinger online. Smoke goes out to cover that rotation. 3 sent all the way over. And Rogers are going to be more than understanding of the situation. Griff goes ahead, throws the shadows down, and will happily try and cover as the rest of the team makes it on the site.
Hey, Drifted doesn't need a paddle, has the power of the drift, apparently, can get where they want when they need. No link on the other side of the smoke. Griff bedded in, and Blades the other side, too. They commit now. It'll be 2 to deal with, but wait and patience might be the name of the game.
So good, one taken, and now Griff gets a little bit of information, dims inside the other team's smoke, and goes ahead and grabs a 3K. It happens again and again. Rogers not able to clear out those line of sights, and because of that, you lose the advantage you had prior. 3v1. Rogers going, what the heck just happened? Drifted, though, gonna try and make something happen. You can't do too much. Griff with the 4K.
Whew. I mean, it feels like every round is very difficult, no matter who has the advantage, no matter who doesn't. So also have been able to kind of make some good individual plays in that last round, especially where the opening picks didn't go their way. But Rogers State kind of making a statement of their own that, hey, whenever they don't have that weaponry, it's still a deadly force that they have at their disposal. They'll be buying in, but at a deficit for the first time in this map.
Placing swarm grenade.
We'll see what they have to offer on their pick. Aggression out towards Mound. Leaving the A aggression alone for now. This is where we've been seeing SWOSU continually put pressure on, and Samsara there to deliver the Killjoy Supreme in those engagements. 2 dead on the C site.
That Trailblazer should have gotten some sort of commendation or an assist score right there. That was, everyone looked at the dog, and that was unfortunately a problem for them. It's down to a 4v3. Rogers currently with 2 stacked in the backside over there on CE Hall with 1 rotating through Link, but I mean, it's still a challenge. You can take a look at SWOSU saying, we're good, we'll play inside, not worry too much. Will they look high though? Griff has done this before, and it doesn't look like they did because of that. Samsara sets him up and knocks him down, gets the ace behind. Well done to Samsara to lock in a 5th for SWOSU.
That's exactly what you need. That's exactly what you're looking for. And in those opening engagements, it's a perfect round to have that sort of impact, right? A gun round where Rogers State, they change it up. They get ultra aggressive out mound to try and contend with what SWOSU were dealing with. And what they had been putting there early. Remember, we talked about that A aggression early into this map. Well, since then, it's been towards C and dealt with immediately, thanks to the incredible shots from Samsara. Whew, love to see it.
Well, Shax is going to try and do their own. Gets a snap on 1. Can't get much more than that, but you know what? For the value, you'll kind of take that to start. You can see on the doorway there by CU Door, it is back-to-back. But all of the KJ util is down. Remember, you still have the lockdown from 3 rounds ago, hanging on from Rogers' side. But haven't really had a time to use it. Sugar Free tossing the gun away, making sure that if SWOSU lose here, Rogers are not able to get a freebie. Instead, Trailblazer once again goes out, trying to find someone, sees someone in the backside, but look at the doorway. Sugar Free was ready, and make sure that's the Sugar Free Coke that they pick up instead. Great job there as SWOSU take control of the site.
3v4 retakes, those are tough, even tougher without the weaponry behind them. Stinger in hand for Slapini. Could be using a lockdown, but that's really not advisable given the economic state here. They might be able to get a couple of free shots onto the site. 2 players are there, but 1 goes down. Make it a second as Clarity activates. Headshot in, a second to follow as Clarky has done some damage. 3 bullets left. The right click, it expends them all. None connect for a 6th round for SWOSU Blue. They're doing all that they need to do on this attack side.
And it feels great, especially with how the early start happened. I was a little bit curious because, again, this is Rogers' map pick, right? They opted to ban out the Haven and go for the Lotus instead. They knew that this is what they were going to be doing, and it was a gamble, I think. So far, though, SWOSU are saying, it doesn't matter what map you are going to put in front of us, we will have that lead. And I think for them, they're very much enjoying this because, to keep in mind, they have only had 1 game go above 10 rounds to the opponent, and that was in for SWOSU Blue. That was in their matchup against Mizzou Club Orange. That match went 16-14, and then after that it was cleaning people out, 13-5, 13-3, 13-7 was, I think, the other highest. So they are no strangers from dropping like a round or 2 or 3 and then just running it back.
Exactly. Yeah, this team, they've been showing what they have to offer, and it's been very good. No doubt whatsoever. Timeout called here by Rogers State, unsurprisingly, as they haven't been able to get things going in their last couple of bye rounds. It's been 5 in a row that we've seen from Southwestern Oklahoma State, and they've done a phenomenal job with that. But there is a key difference here, and I think you've probably spotted it, Orbital. That's the operator in Clarky's hands. We've really yet to see, I don't think, a single op, actually. Seen marshals, but no ops thus far in this map. This could be the turning point.
I mean, it's a huge investment, right? It is such a gamble in a situation where you're already losing some of the earlier gun rounds. and maybe you're just trying to throw down pressure. However, I don't know if SWOSU have got that divinity or that psychic awareness, but they actually run the straight opposite side. They decide to hit A side and run straight into a Viper's pit. So well placed by Rogers State, rotating that op around, hoping to get a frag. If they can get 2 frags here with that op, it feels great. Shax, though, says, I don't even need the op. Gets a headshot on Rec. Drifted finds clarity, and just like that, SWOSU denied this A side push. However, further back, someone is sneaking around.
Yeah, that's Shax. Shax the one got the opening pick.
Ooh.
Initially didn't have any fear whatsoever about just W-keying straight through Mound into spawn and finding that shot onto the rear flank, the rear hold of SWOSU, and with 2 remaining members left and Shax boxing them in, Sugar Free and company very much in a tough spot.
Ooh.
Well placed though. That should give a little info over.
30 seconds left.
A little bit of a blind to help out. Is this gonna help? Is the smoke gonna help? Sugar Free is like, are you there? Are you there? Sees the gun. That's gonna be the shot. Shax goes, thank you very much. 2 in the pocket, looking for a 3rd. Yep, find it. 15 seconds. Spike was dropped as well, so Griff's really got no option. Oh, you got the util out. No. Shaq grabs 3 and ends that round.
I don't even know if that paranoia would have connected if Shax was in the close corner. I think it might have gone a little bit too far, but best case scenario, just trying to get a couple of kills. A fantastic round for Rogers State, though, where they've been struggling to find any impact, really. Now, they dominate in that round. They build some of their economy up as well in as much. And we're going to see the same aggression in this round as we saw the last, because, hey, nobody spotted this operator here.
I mean, I think they saw it after the 3rd kill, but that was so long into the round that it's just not, you know, it's not as much as you would want to get in terms of information. SWOSU are still going to be wanted, but Drifted, clarity falls, and that's a shot over there on A. That is going to be a big opening pick, stopping SWOSU again and what they normally like to do. Good call out, though. Trailblazer, again, giving information, and immediately all of SWOSU dip right out of that situation.
This is Rogers making really good adjustments in the moment. Knowing and understanding that that presence out towards A, towards Rubble, towards the route as well has been a problem for them, and Drifted knocking down another. Out towards B was the plan of action, but getting through this utility is another thing entirely. Hit by the Trailblazer, denied any further information, and a dark cover put into position. Right behind that is a toxic screen. It's a lot to contend with.
And the fact is, SWOSU also lost a lot of their aggressors over on the A side, so, I mean, they're lost in this, right? Clarky is now going to get free reign, gets 1 shot, looking for another, sees a gun peek out, gets a 2nd, waiting for a 3rd, and not even going to need it. Slapini says thank you very much. It is a flawless round for Rogers as they're starting to storm back at the latter stages, and honestly, this is looking good for them.
That timeout, it really did make the difference. The way that they're approaching map control is different. The way that they are pressuring SWOSU, disallowing them to immediately have mound control without fighting for it, and setting that up differently, having 3 players initially over towards A, taking that fight towards root, and making it difficult for the rest of SWOSU to take that space. That's exactly what they've needed to do, and they did on time. They've made this comeback already. 1 more round to play in the half, and it could be even.
I mean, honestly, if it goes even, I would give that to Rogers, right? We talked about the fact that Lotus is a little bit of an attack-sided map, and if you're on defensive, this is showing that they know how to play this map that they picked up. Remember, this is why they did this. It is a gamble that they set forward. SWOSU, honestly, are probably feeling the pressure as we do get that lockdown being set forward. Clarky finds Samsara and actually dashes straight into the middle. Heals come out as well as the defender's lockdown is locked out. But the attackers do find 2 on lockdown on the defensive. Rogers are wondering what the heck is going to happen here. They have to play it back. The plant is going to go in. SWOSU give themselves a little bit more time.
2 players locked down. Had some space to work with. Drifted on the flank, denied by Griff. So no more flank to be contending with. It's left to the rest of these players coming from Waterfall and from CT. No Link with a great shot, isolating the duels is Shax. And the clarity down, space to be had. Shax still alive, and Sugar Free spray far too strong. 3 in a row, and that will be it. Round and half done, 7-5. SWOSU able to maintain their lead despite the comeback from Rogers.
I mean, narrowly keep their lead, I think is the best way to put it, right? That timeout, I have to congratulate whoever called it, right? Whether it was the coach or one of the players, but that timeout did some work. The hard adjustment coming in, you pointed it out, and I wanted to go back to it. SWOSU were not ready at all. They were just not ready for that shift, and now on the defensive, we get to see a SWOSU have are even as practice on this map as their counterpart. Rogers, you're on the side that feels great, and you're only 2 rounds down. I mean, this is perfectly doable. If you're looking at it, Rogers is sitting there going, yeah, let's have some fun. Let's show them what we got. Let's show them what we got on our map pick.
Indeed. Time to get the pistol round started. Pretty important one, I think, for Rogers. Remember, they won the last pistol. Allowed them to get a strong start, really bolstered their half. Now they look to do the same thing on their attack. It's towards B, seemingly the Trailblazer leading the charge. Nobody going to be behind it just yet. The spike is there. And after just a little bit of info gathering, Drifted gonna tap on that spike, try and bait out some sort of response.
Ooh.
And, well, the bait has been taken and unfortunately eaten. Clarity pops out, finds a free frag, drops the spike out in the open, and makes life difficult for the rest of these SWOSU, or these Rogers State members, to try and win back this control.
I mean, the control is what they have to grab, right? That core is directly in the center of the site. They don't have a choice now. The control is forced into this B's site, and because of that, SWOSU actually gets to spread out a little bit further. 2 on one side, 2 on the other, and now they're going to dance. Sugar Free gets the perfect angle and grabs 2 more, looking to help out. The rest of the team files through, and it's 3 alive. SWOSU kick things off with a solid pistol round.
Fantastic find. SWOSU able to not only adjust initially, but they kind of baited Rogers into that. I don't know if that was the intention, but you saw Rogers trailblaze straight in to that site, spotted basically no one, and so they're like, well, okay, I mean, let's go plant the spike, and then as soon as they start planting, 3 SWOSU members just appear out of nowhere. I mean, whether it was the intention or not, it worked beautifully.
Listen, no matter what, saying this as a former player, if it happens, it happens, and we call it our genius, right? It doesn't matter if it was intentional or not. It's genius. I totally planned that, and it worked, right? That was all me, right? Yeah, all part of the plan, whether you stumble or fall into it. So I give them a huge shout out for that one. Rogers on the other side, though, I don't think they're going to make that mistake again, right? They've done decently well in adjusting after a mistake happens, and I think they may have gotten a little bit overconfident. As you said, they were baited into it. I don't think that's going to happen again. Right now, though, we are in a little bit of a tech pause, just waiting for them to get things done. But for Rogers, see for them to start feeling things out along the C and A side. At least test the waters, if you will.
So, the plan for Rogers State. What is that going to look like? You would imagine, eco this round, but into the next rounds, adjustments, maybe not so aggressive towards B on a gun round, though I don't think that they would be doing that either way. The other thing that I want to see that we saw SWOSU do very good is early they set a precedent about control out towards A, and then they stopped doing that and continue to go out towards C as well. Their precedent over at A being set in stone already, they were able to make the connections. I want to see if Rogers think to go for that same type of control that we were seeing before.
For right now, they tested out the A side. However, the Harbor decided against it, Wreck denying that initial push. Quick teleport over as they're fielding an Omen touch over here on Mound. And with sightlines drawn and information given that it's kind of free right now, at least up through Mound, maybe they can do something here. 4 currently set, 1 trailing behind, so all 5. Orbis picked up by Slapini. I mean, this could be the call of SWOSU wondering what exactly is going to happen. Turret is down as well. There's a little bit of darkness, and that's a good call. Information granted, and a Rogers wondering if they really want to go for it. Instead, all 5 funnel through over to B.
Trying to pull some rotations. It's not exactly worked as intended. The Paranoia doesn't hit the connection. Drift nearly falls. Clarky, that was dangerous as Clarity will spray wildly, finding some work with that Ares. Left. Not so much on the other side of it. And
1 enemy
unfortunately, The health bars and the players quickly starting to deplete over time as Rogers State didn't really have the weaponry or utility to get a full control of that B site. No plan to be had, but a gun round up next. And here's where that question of what is the plan comes to fruition. We'll see what Rogers State Red have to offer us.
I just want to see them. I just want to see them split up and have a little bit of fun in the gun duels, right? I just enjoy seeing gun duels go right, and I hope it happens this time. However, again, as you said, the gameplay might be something different. We've seen the gentle drift into the C with all 5, and indifferently little chances up this B side. Now with guns, SWOSU though are more than willing to instead shove up A side, instead look for a little bit of glory there. But finding none, they now get to decide, do we allocate to B or do we allocate to C, or do we look to maintain A advantage as well, trying to put all your eggs into different baskets.
Well, hey, they're maintaining that positioning. See the Rays just kind of chilling over there towards root, has information. Jump spotting initially, just trying to find information if there's anybody going that way. Nobody there.
Swarm grenade out.
Instead, the presence mostly towards C, but a fast rotate to B is there should it be required. Good setup right now for SWOSU. I like what they're doing. It seems to me, though, that Rogers State likely to walk in towards C.
And I think you are correct. They go ahead, pop open that door, get their teammates over. You can see those SWOSU have that lurker behind. Here's all the footsteps, and that is where they identify. Because of that, Samsara gets perfect shots out. Shax is down, and now you have one on site looking to help out. Pistol is out, and you help out. Rec finds one. Looking for a bit more, though, as Clarky drops them down. 3v3 as site is controlled. Rogers, though, need to get that plant down. 20 seconds left.
Tap on the spike. Clarity with a nice win.
Oh.
Would have knocked him off of the spike plant if it weren't for the Trailblazer to go through anyway. 10 seconds left. Spike taken for NoLink, and this is bad news because the time is ticking and it's gone.
Oh.
No time left because death has come for Rogers State in their gun round. SWOSU Blue up to double digits, and that's 10 rounds.
Honestly, Clarity played that so well with a little bit of that satchel, right? Making sure that the plant could not go off properly and denying Rogers that much needed moment to kind of revamp and get back together. So Rogers, the time played against them. They tried to drop it down, and instead it bit them in the back. This time around, expect them to go at a little bit faster pace, whether they like it or not. SWOSU, though, sitting very, very pretty here in a situation where they can almost sit back and relax for this round.
You know, the tough part there, Orbital, isn't that they were too slow. Playing it slow and methodical isn't a bad idea. The difficulty becomes when you don't have map control along with it. You have to maintain some map control so that SWOSU can't just put 4 players towards B or towards C like they did. They had 2 on the site and 2 quick to rotate through waterfall. Like, that is unacceptable. You're never going to be winning when it's a 4-on-5 on the site. It's just going to be very difficult to win that out unless you have some individual going crazy. So Rogers State just need to maintain some better control, and they're working towards that in this round. They don't have the weaponry to do it so well, but they've got a player at A, player towards B, while the main force takes space at C.
And again, SWOSU are just like, yeah, I mean, you got your forces spread out. Go for it. Have fun. Good luck against us. You can see them. Look how far back they're holding. They're not even challenging up A side. Instead, just checking those corners down to 35 seconds. And Griff goes, thank you very much. First frag at 33 seconds left in this round. Because of that, we see the hard sprints coming out. It is a call for this B side. Going ahead, flanking up the middle. And SWOSU are going to give it their best shot. Clarky here's one jumping, but with that, Marshall's going to be a problem. Takes a quick snapshot. Can't really find it. Looking for a bit more. You have 2 shots left in the canister. Nolan is able to find one, and that's going to be a nice. Looking for another, though, as Clarity and Rec just pop through that door. The swings are golden. Body blocking to help out, and that'll be SWOSU to finish off the rest. 4 alive. You're pushing SWOSU to 11.
Yeah, I will say as well, strategically, Rogers, I'd prefer to see them try and hit the B side a little less, to be entirely honest with you. Reason being is that it's a really tough task to hold that site. So usually you're going to see the defense just kind of half-heartedly have a handle on it. So it's going to appear open, and then they're all going to come in and rip your face off. And that's what's happened pretty much every time. It's also not easy to hang on to when you don't have a bunch of utility in an eco round.
That's something that they got to identify for themselves as well. This is now one of the first chances that they've given, but Clarity says no. The one time you decide for A, and A is where you get shelled out, 2 dead in a moment's notice as Rogers flatline and go, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, clearly Rogers kind of identifying space to be taken towards this A site, as we've been talking about all throughout this map. Problem being, there's 3 defenders here, and, well, Sugar Free just tossing a bunch of utility Clarity on that paint shell. Perfect. Drifted, though. Nice shot. Maybe can get something going. Clarity there to deny a 3rd for that raise. 12 rounds, it seems likely. It's a 2-on-4 Orbital. How can they do this? Rogers in trouble.
Enemy remaining.
Very, very carefully. That's how they're going to do it. Right now, though, you're going to try to be careful. Sapini is able to find 1 more. And you know what? Maybe you get 3. Who knows? We'll see. Of course, at the same time, there's a lot of ults that they could dump into this. SWOSU pretty much had the pick of the litter. Sapini is pretty much hoping for 1v1, v1 across the board. SWOSU, I don't think is going to let that happen. Plant goes down. Couple orbs, and I mean, Rek was just ready to wreck them. It is looking solid as SWOSU are on game point.
12 rounds, and now 6 in a row required just to kind of get right up to that possibility of pushing it to overtime. 7 if you want to get there, and more to take a win. Rogers State, they're in trouble. It's bad news, and the bad news keeps coming as, well, at least a couple of them going to be struggling to get the full weaponry out here. Shaxx onto a Guardian, and NoLink has actually gotten out the rifle. I apologize. Did some math on stream, and it was a bad idea.
I do that way too much. I think I tried to calculate once and was off by 1K, and I was just like, never again. Like, you know, off by 50 is fine. Off by 1K, you're just like, I probably should go back to school for that one. I should probably never try that again. You know, SWOSU looking pretty happy though right now. They are on the verge of taking the game. No real trouble on their back end. Rogers, though, they are taking things to the wind. As you said, they chanced B one too many times, and honestly, A side, the one time they try was just like, nah. So they go back to the tried and true, one that they've had a decent amount of help with and a decent amount of success in the times that they tried is C. They go ahead and flood their way in. 3 currently posted up with a 4th on behind, but that's going to be a little bit of macho stopper. Finds one right in front. Great shot. Sapini is down. Shaxx, though. Samsara is going to fall as well, and out they go. Both attackers and defenders leave that site for a moment, but Rogers, with 2 still on site, are going to get the plan.
Lockdown doesn't find anything, but it does create the space, allowing some chances for Rogers State to come away with this round. They've taken some waterfall control. That's being worked on right now. With Clarity down, no showstopper to be had by this as well. NoLink on the other side of this. Dark cover does well to fall away, but Rek is finding connections, and he's on a tear right now, walking right into the Omen. And Sugar Free cutting it down to just a single defender and drifting.
Oh no.
This defuse is happening, but has some utility, putting out that snake bite, making life a little bit more difficult for the opposition. Sugar Free with the shot, and that will do it. Just a couple seconds left, but plenty of time. Excited to potentially see a bit of chamber. Are we going to?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. SWOSU electing to bring that out, but Rogers State, not so much. They like the Cypher, which is also very viable.
I think both have their ups and downs, and of course some of them lend itself to a little bit more defensive versus offensive. We are just going to watch here, though, as Clarity gets baited out in the first headhunter shots. Because of that, you only got 2 left, and I think you're going to call that a win by Clarky. A gadget is destroyed on the back end. Because of that, util is not bound. And taking a look here, it is a 2-pronged attack. 2 flooding into this B site right away. And Samsara says thank you very much. Again, SWOSU on this attack are feeling pretty dang good. They know one is in hookah. They're just waiting for them to come on out. But because of that, you can see the fallback. They got the 1 frag, and because of that, it's a hard float from Rogers, and that leaves A side open.
Yeah, this is just good communication, good understanding. They heard the rotation from Rogers State, and they knew that there would be at least a weakened A site after that initial frag on B. To be fair, rotated from a site they had to a site that they grabbed. Drift taking a little damage towards the retake, but a little bit of fireworks there inside of you, and maybe more to find as it's cut to a 3-on-3.
Teleport's ready.
The lantern to hold steady as it was a shorty that took the life of one. Down to a 3v3 as he said. Slipini though trying to hold a little bit more. Clarity from the smoke though pops one out and says thank you very much. Nolan is going to find another as Slipini finds the last. And it will be 2 alive as Rogers again at the start of the game. Go ahead and start with the pistol.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird post plant there for SWOSU as well. I felt like they were not in the best post plant positions. Like somehow NoLink is surprising the player that was short. Like I don't know how that happens. NoLink just kind of ran through U-Haul and it felt like it should have been obvious. So some surprises there, I think, for SWOSU where they maybe should have had some information, but Rogers State take darn good advantage, and we've already got 2 judges on the playing field. 2 to be precise.
Oh,
I'm very excited.
I think it changed at the last. I think it changed at the last. Depression.
Sag.
At least this one, right? At least this one, and hopefully we get some silliness to come out here. Rogers, though, they are sitting. Nolan is sitting there going, hey, give me a moment. And that's going to be the challenge. Shamsar, though, comes around the corner on a blind to Nolan and says, thank you very much. Our brim is better than yours. Drifter says, maybe not so much. Sets themselves up behind the box. It is going to be 4 currently punching over to the A site.
I mean, that's a solid bit of utility being invested. 1 guiding light, and the Classic just dominating. Trying to find your way through. This is a crossfire, though, and goodbye to that judge after just the 1. 4-on-3.
On my way.
This is an eco full and clear, sugar-free. Oh my goodness. Like a trapeze artist from the high rope there. That was insane.
Cirque du Soleil right there, enjoying their time on the high wire, and because of that, you get freedom over there in U-Haul. Beautiful pick, beautiful punch, and you put yourselves in a 3v1. Rogers going, how the heck do we play this one? I'm currently in my own connector and not sure how I want to play this one. I mean, you're against 3.
Oh,
man.
Out of teammates. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're gone. I mean, at least there's not armor to contend with. I guess that's a small bonus.
No. But I mean, your gun barrel's a little bit too long, right? Clarity goes ahead and grabs the last one, and SWOSU went around that it feels they had no reason to win.
Yeah, it really does. And you say no reason in that they didn't have weapons at all. They were classics to start, and they really didn't even invest anything further. What I will say is that the way they set that up was very good. They were playing individually the way that they should be. They took engagements that gave them an advantage. Crossfire, we saw that happen in Shower. The initial shot off the back of that guiding light, they had very little utility, and they used what little that they did have to phenomenal effect.
Maximizing output with limited input. That is, I think that's the essence of what we got. You took the words right out of my mouth earlier, explaining why it went down, and because of that, they now have an excessive lead in terms of econ advantage. Rogers working with a budget buy, and because of that, SWOSU know that they can rotate out. They are happy to take their chances, leaving 1 on the lurk position over there in Showers, and that might be a chance and a half to see a 1v1. Right now, though, Rogers with 3 on site of B, saying, yeah, we kind of know what's going to go down. It's going to be a chance and a half. Samsara wins the 1 against Nolan, as that's going to be a happy day. A site currently only populated by the Cypher. But the main bulk of the damage is going to come from SWOSU here, bouncing right in front again. That is going to be the judge taking 1, burning from the top rope, but says, thank you very much. I've done my job and then some.
1 enemy remaining. Spike
And
planted.
Drifted just trying to get back in is unfortunately not going to work out so well. This is the eco round, sure, but I'd like to have found something more. Clarity denying Slipini even a single kill. Dink comes out, but nothing further on that Classic. Couldn't get the second shot to go through. 2-1. It's going to be Southwestern Oklahoma State making their way into the lead once more. And remember, once they took the lead, they didn't give it up back on Lotus.
No, it came close.
For the rest of the time.
Yeah, it came close, right? I think we had like the largest we had was a
6-5.
3. It was 6-3 at one point, and then it was 7-5 at the end, so it can get close. But I do agree, this is pretty much deja vu from game number 1. SWOSU come up with a flawless second round in their pocket, looking for a third, and this time you got the 2 of the force. That thing's going to hurt, even through the nurse and bust and all that fun stuff there. The orbital strike will find a kill on Sapini as Nolan goes skeet shooting, and Sugar Free is a drop. Get a little bit of sugar in your system as Showers is currently mollied off.
A lot of space to work with. These Sky Smokes down.
Ooh.
That could be deadly. Very close to it for Rec, but will survive. 4 on 4. Time to go for Drifted, but the volley comes through. That's going to delay the retake, allow time for further post-plant positioning. But as I say that, nobody making a move. Rec still very alone here on the site, but has clarity to hold them off. Samsara goes down to Clarky, but there's just 2 remaining members, and like you said, this tour de force, trying to make your way past it is a tough task. Even Rec, who gets dropped on by Clarky, still finds that frag.
Getting a 2K with the 2 of the force feels great right there, and I mean, this, as much as I hate that it's early, it's necessary, right? Right now, SWOSU are showing way too much control of this map. Rogers need to have that turnaround, and remember, last time they did this, they were able to get a pretty nice bounce back of, I think, 2 rounds at that time. It was not bad. However, that's about all they got at the time. So this time, what we want to see is that turnaround, is that change up, and then more follow through as well.
Indeed, and if you're wondering, if you were curious, which I know you were,
oh, of course,
this is where you can follow us here at NECC. Make sure you're up to date, because it would be a tragedy to miss any collegiate action that has been continuing to happen throughout the season here at the NECC. Fantastic stuff. Rogers State, they're going to need to catch up as well. Only a couple of rounds down at the moment, but as you said, a couple of rounds was all they were able to gather off the back of their timeout before they were shut down and locked out. Again, I bring it back up, Orbital, because they didn't get any other rounds after those 2.
It was a painful announcement to what was going on, is the best way I can put it, right? It was that wake-up call that you dread having to get in the middle of that night. It's that feeling of, well, crap, like, we're stuck in this situation. This is what we got. And that impending feeling of, we can't really do anything about it. Right now, we are getting that chance into this 5th. And you already see the default setup here. It is going to be a deep spread here for SWOSU as Griff goes ahead and finds Nolan KDC, saying, okay, you don't really have that chance. Now Hookah is going to be challenged there in a 1v1. Are you going to find it? No, you don't. Shax gets one with a stinger. Happy about that day, giving it back to a 4v4.
Oh. A little overextension happening there initially for the defense and Showers. It's very much patented to the other side. SWOSU finding themselves aggressive towards Hookah early, and Shax to take advantage. Cut down to just 3, though. Rogers rotating in. Rotating out. SWOSU, they're going back to A. Slapini still sort of there, but it's a long way on the rotate through the flank, and Griff is holding station to take that first. A second to come as Shax walks around that corner.
And I mean, that's what I love about rotates. That's when you know a rotate was good, is when you draw an opponent through a gamble of an entry, right? You took a dangerous route and you get punished for it. SWOSU's sake, good. That's why we have a lurker. That's why we got the route on the back end. Rogers paid the price by losing a member and forced to actually take an extra 20 seconds to rotate all the way through their own defensive spawn. Sapini, though, is trying to make it dangerous here and knows that they probably don't have that spike, and instead looking for some of those exits. That's going to be a rush in, looking for a chance. Shax praying for a moment. A little bit of a tap, though, as Sugarfree finds Shax looking for just a little bit more HP as Samsara gets it through the box. Great finish, 4-1 SWOSU.
Post plants have been sublime here for SWOSU, I feel, in bind. They have all of that post plant utility to work with, so, you know, fair enough. That's kind of that's the OG version of this map that still continues to beat one way or another. Rogers State, they are in position to continue making investments, and hey, like I said, some early engagements in that last round didn't work. Others did. Maybe see more of that from Rogers State here. They've got 3 towards A short. They're gonna make their way forward. A lot of utility to contend with on the other side of that. Well handled by SWOSU.
I mean, in that time, they've also pressured up through the showers here, and that might be the whole point that they were trying to do, trying to gather up. Look at the B-side rotators, though. Rogers taking a very, very dangerous route. You can see one lurker all the way behind. This flank could be appropriate. SWOSU, though, should be able to sniff this out if they are careful. Tripwires are down. That'll slow them down if they wish. Rogers setting up on their own site, but no, look at the deep side. Griff said thank you very much. Very slow fade. Now U-Haul's taking over, quickly losing ground, but Nolan burns down Clarity. That's gonna be a nice kill. 4v4 Question coming in town. A big ult comes in as Nolan finds another wreck. Is gonna follow in, but Nolan gets a 3K, so I'm sorry, gets the plant. But how much defense do you have? Not much at all, as Rogers finishes it off. That is gonna be SWOSU pushing forward a little bit too far, and Rogers punishing appropriately.
It's not just that Rogers punished. The big issue for Rogers has been that they haven't had map control. This time, they had everything. They knew it all from the beginning. They can have 4 players there at the site, and I'll keep it a buck. I got a little scared when we saw Drifted kind of walk forward
right.
into the showers where there was already all the Cypher utility set up from Zlupini, but it didn't matter. The amount of players that they already had at that A site was too many to contend with. Great work for Rogers and great early information from that B push. Exactly what they needed.
I mean, that feels great, right? They can now try and bounce back. Now, remember, this wasn't directly after their timeout, but it's close enough that maybe they can get a little bit more. They got the ult online. Yeah, I mean, they're happy about that one. Happy to get the guns in and maintain at least 3 is what I saw. SWOSU, though, I mean, they're still set up. They had plenty to save up. With this ult online, the showstopper, it's going to create a lot of space. However, the hold is a little bit different. One on lower side of B, and Rogers are not really taking any chances. Same as SWOSU. Clarity looking, sees a shoulder. No Shax is in the back left corner. And now the Trailblazer goes out, plus a double poison setup. Means anyone that walks through is going to be in trouble.
Notice the respect that Rogers have gained from SWOSU in this round. Showstopper going to be out, sugar free to send it in. There's a player close right, doesn't know, but turns on the dime. Nolan there for the crossfire, but Samsara dispatching with Clarky and Clarity finding one as well. Puts Rogers State in the ground. It's going to be easy hold here. 4 on 2. Showstopper, I guess, could make the way in, but a hard retake to come.
I'm pretty sure that was a 480 to minus 180, and then even more so. That was a flick of everything and pray something hits, and it was well done, right? Caused enough confusion. Rogers now stuck with 2 on the back edges of this defensive edge. 1 in Hookah is going to be sniped out. Clarity, though, says not today. Slapini goes down. Drifted is the last one alive, and all you got's a classic and a judge. I mean, if you had a lot more satchels, hey, maybe you could do something, but, I mean, you're 1 against 4, and you can't even get 1. Rec is going to finish that one off. 5 rounds to SWOSU.
Well played. SWOSU adjusting almost immediately off the back of that Rogers State win, and this is what made them so deadly on Lotus. They're doing it again here. They noticed, hey, Rogers got a ton of space over at B, pushing all the way through B long, gave them essentially the info they needed to stack for A and get that win. You know, shout out to Nolan who actually hit the shots. You know, was doing a great job dancing around. But point being, that SWOSU, after 1 round, they made the changes necessary to take that win. And of course, some nice ultimate utility on that showstopper helping out as well. It'll be an eco round, but a collection of that orb gives it some additional ultimate utility available to Rogers State Red.
Samsara feels it. Oh, Shax, though. Shax getting a little bit sneaky with it. Gonna try and collect behind. Clarky follows up, and SWOSU getting surprised by the sheriffs being put into jail as quickly as possible. Leaves 3 only alive and gives over 2 guns. Couple little tags as well. Gives information over the Cypher, giving it some value. SWOSU, though, not saying anything else, just saying we got to get our way in. Quick bounce in all the way to the back end. Sugar Free says, hey, give me a chance, but no, Slipini. Again, the sheriffs do cry out. Looking for another, can't find it. Rec gets 1 through the box. Looking for another one behind, but Drifted says no thank you. It is going to be a thrifty round win as Rogers lay up a 3rd.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird round for SWOSU. I mean, they were very clearly interested in dealing with the hookah positioning that we've been seeing have so much effectiveness from Shaxx. And, I mean, yeah, that should have been the plan. But they were just taking their duels, not utility to contend with that. And Shaxx, give them a chance. They'll hit the shot on that Sheriff, clearly. Drifted there to close it out. Great work from Rogers on just Sheriffs. And they are slowly but surely keeping this close.
They gotta be happy
So
about
you
these
maybe?
situations. I mean, those orbital strikes have been
execute
so
towards
good,
A.
by the way. Those orbital strikes have been good.
On both sides. They've been fantastic. I think almost all of them have gotten a kill at least.
I mean, that's more than I can say about mine. Ooh, even though it's kind of my namesake, you know, I'll take it, but can't land one to save
They
my
made
life.
it for you.
They made it for me, and I can't land it for anything, and now I'm just sad about it.
Sadness.
Depression.
This is a lot of little poking and prodding of utility that's gone out. But this is still not a full commitment. But the problem is, for SWOSU, they've waited so long. Once again, this Viper has all of B controlled, has the entirety of the flank, and they're coming fast.
And even though they're coming fast, it's not so furious. SWOSU get cut down inside of lanterns, and the heal goes through as Rogers say, "What push? There was no push. I don't know what you're talking about." The Viper Pit does go down, though. That is going to be the challenge. Because of that, Rek finds Shaxx. Rek is now challenging up this back end site inside of the mid. It is going to be very, very happy. The problems, of course, abound, as now they have to walk into danger. Clarky is going to find Rek inside. The Sky Showdown goes the way of the defensive edge. Slipini, though, finds Gris. I'm sorry, gets one, but looking for more means that Rogers will move to 4. Great challenge there, as Rogers pushed to 1 behind.
SWOSU, they get caught by it again. They took ages to set up that execute. I don't know what happened. It was like, okay, let me put out a Sky Smoke. 4 seconds later, let me send a Trailblazer. 4 more seconds later, okay, let me send out another Sky Smoke, and now we go. I don't know what the delay was, but that certainly allowed for Rogers so much time to rotate over. They had an entire army on the site and a full rotate flank coming to help them out by the time that SWOSU decided the site would be theirs. Fantastic work from Rogers State taking that space, and a little bit of a disappointing round for SWOSU.
Let's see if they can do anything different here. You can see him moving up this B side a little bit faster, but shut down as well. Rogers getting wise to some of these antics. Because of the fact that for the first time, I think SWOSU are fully stacked at the start of a round. It's calling into question a couple of moments. You can see the pings go down from the side of SWOSU saying, hey, check that backside, but Shaxx was ready in the corner closest. 30 HP still on their life bar, means they get away, but Griff finds Drifted in the backside. 4v4, couple blind shots. Clarky hoping for one more, but the Molly forces him up on top of the box.
Good crossfire set right now. Clarky has support from Shaxx should it be necessary. Telly coming through though, back towards A, where the Cypher has been located. That's been an effective position for that Cypher Slipini to work with, but it's not going to be a commitment towards A. We've seen this play from SWOSU before, and in that round they committed towards A on that rotate. This time they've not. They've rotated back around to B, where they have a 2-player hold. Rogers State splitting 2-2, waiting for the attack that's coming now.
That's going to be the call. The Shaxx was ready, even through the skeet shooting. You're able to have one. Down to a 2v3, though. The damage has been done. Orbital strike, closing out a little bit of space. Because of that, you have denied that plant so far, and it's a 1v3 defense. But look, the shots through the wall. Slipini's able to find Sugar Free, and it looks like Rogers have done it. Yes, the plant goes down, but it's only 6 HP. And I mean, there's not much more you can do about it. Slipini picks up those last 2, and that'll put Rogers at a tie, 5-5. As SWOSU Blue go, what the heck happened to our lead?
I mean, it disappeared into the ether as Rogers State. They've done some really good adjustments here. The way that they've been taking control towards B long whenever possible, whenever that positioning or the information about like A comes through, whenever that early utility starts to get applied, Rogers State have just been able to walk up B long and get so much information. Beyond that, SWOSU with some difficult decisions to make. Not exactly able to make the right ones because they didn't have all the tools to work with.
Hopefully the tools are in their advantage right now. The ult economy advantage, though, is not in their favor. Rogers happily with 2 set up. SWOSU sitting there going, how the heck do we contend with this one? Another deep push, though, up mid. And it's been identified that Rogers are basically like, look, if they're not pushing already, they ain't pushing at all. Let's go ahead and keep eyes. A little bit of a bite going out. The poison might land in proper position. Hoping to clear out that corner as best as possible. At least give cover as they rotate in through mid. Questions abound. Minute left on the clock, which is plenty to hold on to. 2 to 4 is calling out 1 shot. Looking for another headhunter. Taking a chance. That's going to be a jump in, though, as Sugar Free still goes rampant. Great judge shot to kick things off.
It's been tough for Sugar Free in some of these engagements, but that one towards Lamp has been their domain. Fortunately, pushes forward maybe a little too far. Caught by Shax. And again, the site not theirs, but here's that rotate that we've been seeing. Clarky was the one on it this time out, and entirely going to be denied. Their position not spotted. Griff aware, and this is almost over already. Instant shots from all directions, catching rotators.
SWOSU said, you know what? You can have the tie, but you'll never have that lead. That is wholly unacceptable. Slipini's just like, yeah, I understand that. Let me have at least 1 kill. So I'm sorry, I said no. And SWOSU pushed to 6, breathing a sigh of relief at hitting that halfway point.
SWOSU planning very well in that round, though. They correctly identified all of the problems that they had at the A site in the last 2 failed A takes, and they entirely counter-planned for what Rogers State were doing. Knew that they would have somebody playing aggressive, knew that by the time they rotated or teleported out, there would be almost nobody on the B site. So, got to give them credit. Great plan, well executed in order to adjust and find that weak spot for Rogers State. But a timeout called into this next round. Interesting for SWOSU. Hey, use it or lose it. Game plan into the final round of the half is never a bad idea.
What if this is just specifically to be like, let's go ham? Or let's just do something silly to end this one, right? Just how badly can we mess with Rogers' head? I like the first plan. Yeah, just go ham. Everyone run judges. Game leader? No, please never have me as an IGN. There's a reason I stopped playing any sort of competitive, man. There is a reason.
My reason was I'm bad.
My reason is I got called stupid once and never lived it down.
You're not stupid.
Oh no! At that time, it was bad, man. There were some moments. We can talk about it afterwards. Right now, though, getting underway with the final round of the half. 3 ults online for Rogers. If they can utilize it well, it will be well played. SWOSU, though, running with guns and util only. Let's see what they can do.
Rare that I don't think we've seen an op here actually on the attack side. Dude, the Trailblazer, that was sick. He baited the shot. The Trailblazer made it through. Didn't matter in the end. Clarky still had the shot. Sugar Free up and taking him down once again. That judge is clown fiesta moments for sure.
I love that we saw the outlines of that happening, by the way. We did not actually see the moment go down, but we just see the up and then the down and dead. It was amazing. 3v3, though, calling it out here. Rogers hoping for a chance. Minute left on the clock. SWOSU have been in this spot before. Clarity looking to take a chance if they can. But again, nothing else really in that back corner. A little bit of a peek, and that is enough. Nolan says, I know where one is. Up there in hookah. Spotted out lower ground, though. Currently controlled by SWOSU. Back corner is going to be poisoned out if the Viper wishes to lay it down. For right now, though, drifted inside of the box, trying to play smart. Now the call for the 3. Rotate is there. In comes the showstopper, which should force a back off. But drifted says no dice. Fired off very, very quickly. Spike is now going to be called for the rotate. A hard rotate at the last second, going to leave 2 on the defensive. Teleporter is used, and now Rogers is in a state of panic as well.
Yeah, 20 seconds, and they call the rotate. Hard to anticipate. Spike should go down, though, with relative ease. It's Clarity going to be the one to plant that. 3-on-3. Showstopper engaged and utilized already. Nolan has space in lamp at this point. First shot doesn't connect. An info game from Rek. Solid shots as Grip takes out Drifted. Info there, but Nolan is going to have to take this engagement. Slapini's in a weird spot, but hits the shot. Clarity in the 1v2, but hits them both with these.
Listen, that's what happens when you got clarity of the mind. You know what's coming. You had the call-outs from your team. And you send it. Well done to go ahead and force another deja vu setting. Look at the score once again. SWOSU at 7-5. Rogers have been here before. And yes, they are right back on that attack. However, how we got here was vastly different. Tied up at 5-5, Rogers have made those adjustments, but SWOSU are adjusting faster. Going into this attack, Rogers are hoping to have a little bit more advantage in terms of determining where these plays occur. SWOSU, though, on the defensive, we know that they can play well.
That we do. Dominant in their own way. Rogers State will have to pick up another pistol, though it didn't help them that much at the outset of this last half. Currently grouping up for what looks like an A split. Got 3 out short, 2 in showers, and the spike in among those 2 in showers as well. Whatever the info is, it seems to be clear to SWOSU that this is going to be an A hit because the third player has just rotated back over. Part of that is the amount of space at B long that has been gathered by the chamber. Sky Smoke's back down. About a minute left. Will Rogers State wait them out?
Launching smoke. Molly.
At least returning the smoke is good. That's going to be a molly to slow him down, but Shaxx are running forward. Got a little bit of info gathering, got the tech back, but this is going to be the plant. Rogers currently fighting in a 5v5 situation. SWOSU wondering exactly how they want to play this one. Take a look. They're still waiting on 2 members to really get into position, and they're all gathered on this back end of A. So if Rogers are wise, they will be able to identify that one. Shaxx, though, with a quick push up, gets one. Looking for another as Drifted finds Samsara, and Rek, with pretty much nothing in hand and only a shorty and 14 HP, is not going to have that much impact. Griff, though, Griff is going a little bit ham. That's going to be a trailblazer to be able to trade out 1v1 down to a 2v2 situation. Clarky needs to get one more, but now you're running away around the corner to go. Clarky with the headshot, great tap there, and now in a 1v2, you're hoping Griff, he can find another. Slipini is on 1 HP. That's going to be the camera, and I think the time is out. Can you get the last kill? Yes, you do. Griff is able to make it with the 4K, but the round will go the way of the opposing team. It will be Rogers to collect the opening round.
Indeed. Crazy fireworks in the pistol round. Good crossfire set for Rogers on the site. Fantastic work inside of Lamps as well. Playing that to perfection. And yeah, eventually we saw Rek win one of those fights, but time was of the essence and they took so much of it trying to clear that area away. Nice work despite Griff's shots falling away. SWOSU blue. But this round, probably a wash. I say that, but SWOSU did win a pistol round of this sort in their first half, so you can never count them out. A cheeky little stack out to the B site, and that Trailblazer unlikely to catch the amount of players here.
I don't think so either. One of the things that we have not really noted is the fact that SWOSU are pretty much conditioned to stay within their lane is the best way to put it. Rogers have been utilizing that cipher as much as possible to gather information without being seen. And SWOSU are kind of corralled in these situations, right? Until that chamber is fully online, you're not going to be able to cover as much site as you usually did. However, that's going to be a TV behind as Rogers didn't really find any extra and instead are going to flood their way in onto this A site. A quick call on the rotate as well as the teleporter is used. The showers is going to be a moment of blood as everyone is getting in range. Sugar Free currently getting burned down, whittled away by Acid in the backside. And no one really knows how the site is going to break out. SWOSU with 5 alive as Clarky takes one out.
I mean, this is pretty much just cleaning things up, setting the tone for this half. Rogers State equalized with a flawless anti-eco. 7-7. And this time we get the real chance. First chance since that pistol round to see Rogers State back in the lead because they are 1 round away from it. Bind might not be their pick, but they're certainly showing that they have what it takes to push SWOSU to the limit. Defense, though, with weapons for sure. And Sugar Free I get the idea that this Judge Rays situation is going to be better defensively. I just, have that feeling.
I mean, I can agree with that one. We've seen some silly stuff happen, but that also might be a little bit of your bias there, I think, right? Are we talking about the bias here coming out?
No, I think defensively it's a lot better.
All right, all
You
right.
just hold an angle. You kind of got to get to him first if you're on the attack. Clarity, have no problems though getting you drifted.
I mean, I think that speaks for itself, right? Clarity has been one to kind of be that stalwart powerhouse, really just kind of keeping things in check when guns are on the table. I think has to be noted here. Sugar Free getting tapped a little bit on the back as the heal comes out, and Rogers are going, how the heck do we play this one? We lost our opener there on Belong, which is currently now okay to push up. But in a 4v5 situation, you're trying not to give too much away, but Clarity follows the signs of the gun trail from Clarky and takes a great headshot.
Heals applied, and Wreck, the healer, putting together that frag. It's Shax to go down, and, well, 2 on 5. SWOSU looking likely to
30
deny
seconds left.
the attempt at the lead for Rogers State. There's maybe still a chance, but with 25 seconds left, they got to make their move. Nolan going to put out the Sky Smokes, presumably here in a moment. Slapini to find some information. That Molly holding back the Lance push for now, but Wreck up and over, and Sugar Free popping heads straight into the TP. Slapini down, and 8 rounds for SWOSU Blue. Was that flawless? Did they lose anybody?
No, that was a flawless. It was an answered flawless back, and I gotta agree with you, right? That judge did work, but it was also just SWOSU have always looked better with guns in their hand, right? Like that's true for any team, I should say. There is not a single team except in my solo queue games that shows up with pistols only, right? And in that situation, SWOSU have always been on that front end, and this is the true test for Rogers. This is the best situation that they've been in quite some time, right? 7 to 8.
Yeah.
It's not a bad score, and the fact is, you're 1 round from tying things up again. So if you're gonna get over any hump, this is that moment. And what can you get? It's not a kill, as Sugar Free wins the Rays duel.
It's a little bait and switch moment, right? They initially took the contact with that first player. Sugar Free pops up, has a judge, and you're surprised. Now, Wreck, surprised by Shax swinging with that toxic screen as it goes up, probably not anticipating to have somebody kind of coming around the corner at that last moment. But Hookah firmly in the hands of Sugar Free. Griff far away on the back of the site. There's things to do before they can go towards B. Namely, dispatch with Sugar Free.
I mean, you only really need 1 tap, right? The problem is your tap going to be on the head? Because it's not. Sugar Free's tap is way better here. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge. That's going to be a paint shell out now to cover your own tracks. Poison is now going to cause some problems as they clear him on the swing. And Clarky did very, very well. Decent amount of util dropped, but it was well worth it. You now control Belong as well as Hookah. And the only way that SWOSU can protect is straight through the back side. 20 seconds left.
Usually the Seekers are up. This could give a lot of info.
Is a rotator.
Yeah, we got rotate coming for sure. Commitment. Samsara is here, ready to go. Not going to be expected. Going to wait. Tap it on that first head. Can't get the second. And, ooh, it's very close. The spike will go down just in time.
Oh. And honestly, Rogers are breathing a sigh of relief. If they wish, they were going to have it, but Clarity still with a great shot. And that's going to be the Seekers down as well. All of a sudden, it's just that Cypher praying for a moment. Slapini is going to try their best. That's going to be the camera taken out, and they know exactly where you are. Not a chance in the world as SWOSU take a 9th.
Tough situation there. Slapini thought that he actually had the kill, unfortunately did not. Inti, though, as Rogers State falling away by 2 rounds now. SWOSU still very much within spitting distance, though, as they get another timeout. And they'll take it here and now. Feels that this is the right time to talk things over. But in my opinion, Orbital, I don't think that Rogers State are doing anything wrong here. I think SWOSU, they are playing well on the defense. That setup that we saw early towards Hookah was really intelligent. It's a setup that you've probably seen 100 times, but it's very effective, and it's used for a reason.
It is, especially with a strong duelist situation, right? You were talking about that judge being hung onto, and I will personally say I love seeing the Rays of old in that situation, right? And the reason I say Rays of old is because the judge used to be so prominent in clip moments, right? You have the Jet or the Rays just bounce around and take heads. Well, that judge brings a lot of pressure behind it as well, and it forces the opponent to use so much just to clear you out from a distance. And if you can draw that amount of pressure, you command respect on the map. Because of that, SWOSU have felt very in control of that back edge. Griff has had really no problem setting up here time and time again, or even dancing on that ledge. So Rogers, with this timeout, you are saying, can we identify that situation once again? Can we identify where that judge will be, or can we identify if any heavier weapons will come out? However, this moment, you're on a save. You're just going to try and get kills where you can.
Get something done. Hey, a little bit extra to contend with, and notice the amount of utility being put into trying to clear that close angle, kind of having the idea that there might be a wild sugar-free there chilling, hanging out. It looks like Rogers State going to make the decision to back away. No more investigation necessary at Hookah for the time being. Actually, rotate somebody all the way through spawn? Very careful for Rogers State right now. These short players are going to have to wait for the shower players to get a move on, or they're just going to take this alone.
This is going to be a challenge. Up they go. Sugar Free ready to shoot through the box. Satchel now out to bump him out into an open space. And it looks like they are going to get the plant, but HP bars are low. Take a look at both the Rays and Cypher. Both are taking low. The heal comes out, and Rogers are going to fight with all 5 alive. SWOSU, though, ready to go on their own end. Seekers are out, but why do you need Seekers? You know where the opponents are. Bird is going to go up, going to try and blind you. Swing out to the side. Clarity is going to check your back as Rek chases into showers. Can't find a Nolan, but Samsara finds the back end kill. Slapini is going to follow. Nolan with a pistol is going to do some work. Looking for another, but can't find it. 4 alive as SWOSU push to 10. A very, very messy setup that honestly could have gone either way if Rogers actually had weapons.
Yeah, I love the fact that they were able to get onto the site so well, and even in the post lane, yeah, if they had guns, it would have been a different story entirely. In fact, I would say they more than likely to win that round in those engagements, but they didn't. But now they do, and now they have a massive amount of ultimates to use as well. Showstopper, Orbital Strike, Seekers, Viper's Pit, they're all there at their disposal. The biggest ultimates that they have to work with, and they're all ready to go now. And on the attack side, it's exactly where you want to be able to use them.
Toxins going up.
Let's see what they can do here. Shax has done this once or twice before and has been able to find a kill or two, but that's going to be the blind. You're able to find one, though, close to a 2K for none. That would have been the chance, but Sugar Free happily will close that one down. Showers now closed out, and with 1 in mid, 3 over here on the A mid as well. This will be a challenge. Rogers looking for a chance, need the heal up. SWOSU still only have 2 defending on A.
The Seeker should start to give away the Gambit. Zara going to be trying desperately to stay alive. Tosses out utility, but get caught by the Showstopper. Everything invested here. The spike gonna go down. 3 on 4 for the retake.
That boombot giving it away. Clarky has to dance away. Sugar Free has been pivotal in some of these later stage rounds. Because of those early shots, Griff is able to fire away, get that kill. Now around the corner, looking, that's going to be a chance, but the shoddy on shoddy action leaves Clarity a little bit blind. Can't get around that corner as much as they would like, so because of that, you hop up with the operator as well. In comes that Orbital Strike. Sugar Free says thank you very much. That's going to clear out, drop it to a 2v2. Who's going to find a Sugar Free? Rotating around, looking at U-Haul, sees an arm, but Drifted might have the angle, gets one, looking for the other, and gets it. 3K as Rogers expend just about everything to get their 8th.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, and they certainly did. Late round, that Orbital Strike does the damage and makes the space necessary for Rogers State to come away with the victory. Phenomenal work done as well by Drifted on that judge. Dominating the entirety of that Lamp's position, and then just, you know, finding a great timing to get those final 2 frags. Exactly what was necessary, and hey, Rogers State up to 8. Tour de Force, though, going to be used by SWOSU into this next round, and they, too, have some utility in that ultimate department as well. Shaq's back in a familiar position, but there's no defenders that are interested in going through that toxic screen this time around. Makes a little bit more sense to hold that back.
Just give it a few moments, see what you can find. However, Slapini finds Clarity's head. Clarity was just a little bit lax on that shot, and because of that, you now open up space. Take a look. As soon as that kill goes down, Rogers go. We have that moment. Neural Theft goes out. You now spot that there are 2 and 2 split. If you wish, you can chase into this moment, and you can look to find Griff on their own for just a moment, but the Trailblazer is going to go out and slow their initial charge. Take a look on the flip end as well. Drifted was ready. Griff can't really find anything, but Rek finds 2. It's down to a 2v3, which is pretty still good for Rogers. However, SWOSU sending down an orbital strike, pushing them out, not able to plant, shaves another 15 seconds off the clock.
They're going to rotate. They're gone, done, not going to be interested, and there's nobody at A. Understandably so for SWOSU.
30 seconds
And at
left.
this point, this is a post plant that's gone from winnable to not all that winnable, to be honest. I think SWOSU it would be reasonable for them to save here if they wanted to. We'll see if they will, but looks like Sugar Free certainly looking to invest. Heard the footstep to Clarky almost certainly, but not going to hit the shot.
Sugar Free is stepping up, but Slapini with that angle, the corner lands their way. I barely saw that peak of the eyeball. Well done there. On that top rope, though, I mean, so I'm sorry, I can't really do much because of that. You go through the teleporter, you concede the round, and Rogers are keeping pace. One more to go ahead and tie things up if they can. SWOSU may be feeling the burn just a little bit.
Indeed. They are on the cusp. Our Rogers have kind of making their way back into this. Early part of this half was great for them. Run of 3 rounds in a row where SWOSU were successful. Looked dominant, actually. And since then, now 2 rounds back, that Rogers have had the advantage. SWOSU take their time out. Time to talk things over and figure out what's been the biggest issue for them going into these rounds. And let's talk about that same thing. What has been so successful for Rogers? I think it's their willingness to make late round adjustments. That is absolutely the win condition for the map of Bind right now. Be able to get down into like a 3-on-3 and then fake.
I would agree. Some of these late call rotates shaving down to 3-4 seconds left on the clock, trying to get that plant down. It's throwing SWOSU into a little bit of a tizzy. Not just that, Rogers willing to execute when they have the ults up has granted them a lot of those opportunities, right? We saw the kill in mid straight into the neural theft and a rush in, which spacings out so nicely for them. Rogers are playing with a newfound confidence in these latter stages, and I think that's also leaning into their reason for getting those rounds back. Granted, they don't have the lead. Let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet, but right now, Rogers do have the momentum in their favor, and SWOSU are hoping that that timeout was enough to go ahead and grab it back. They have the Viper Spit on their own. They have the Seekers as well, so these are great to gather information as well as deny a sight. What will Rogers do, though, instead?
Like a little bit of aggression out hookah. They did this before. Slapini was supreme there, but Sugar Free to deliver the opening frag. Adjustment made for SWOSU. That's something they've yet to do defensively outside of that tour de force that we saw in the previous round, and that's certainly a different situation as Griff puts down the Viper Spit.
And I mean, that's just to try and grab space, right? You take a look, they dropped it right inside his showers, just really corridoring off this corner of a site plant. But one is hiding inside as Griff is taken out, so no Viper's Pit in return. 4v4 situation is actually looking up for Rogers. If they wish to contain and maintain, they can very well do so. Samsara are going to try their best to also get in. They're going to try and drop some smokes. I'm not sure if this would be perfect, but still, trying to lay a little bit of confusion into the site might be necessary. Plant goes in, a call goes out, blind shots going through as a blind comes out, and the rendezvous sets them back. SWOSU getting set for the retake.
Nolan just re-smoked himself. That's the second sky smoke that's been sitting there. It's gonna catch Rek, who puts up the Seekers. The Seekers get activated, sure, but Nolan in trouble. No, he's got trouble to give away, and it's to Clarity. Samsara gonna get something back done and dusted as he, Sugar Free, last man standing, opened the round with the opening frag, but nothing further gained. 10-10. Rogers State Red. They're on the comeback trail. 5 rounds in this half.
And honestly, this is one of the few times that we've seen SWOSU stuck in a save. Of all things, of all the pivotal moments, you are stuck in a save in a situation where you have never been so before, right? You've been in situations where, hey, you've started losing a few rounds, never in a situation where you have had to save up and try and keep yourself safe. And I mean, at a point where Rogers can claim the lead in this game, that's going to feel so dangerous. We're now seeing a heavy push up this B side mid, and Nolan was ready for clarity to look to punch out as well. Great kill there, number 1. Griff is now going to come around the corner, and that's going to be the second. SWOSU losing control of this B alongside. I mean, that's all you can really ask for. Rogers happy to contain once again with 1 lurker over there on it.
Rogers looking to be a different beast at the moment. Sugarfree, though, going to cut it down to just a 4-man squad for Rogers. And toss out the boombot to start things out. All 3 of these retakers heading in the same direction. So that does make things difficult, and as you mentioned, economy not ideal either. Sky smoke down, but surely this is going to be a commitment. Yeah, straight through. The shots not there. Nolan consistently finding these multi-frag rounds has been incredible to watch. Vector in hand for the final member. It's wrecked down and out. And the lead, it is finally here for Rogers State. They've got 11.
I mean, this is... we said that Rogers are going to fight no matter what, right? Like, their win came at, I think their 3rd week win came in at a pretty solid 2-0. And then all their other matches have been 2-1s or 1-2s, right? This team will always fight as hard as they can to try and get a victory. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it here. SWOSU, though, on the other side, are looking for a chance of their own. For them, they've never gone to a game 3, but they have gone to OTs. As we said before, a 16-14 is not out of the stretch here. But for clarity, I mean, they're hoping to do some work. Now remember, Sugarfree has been pivotal in a lot of these rounds. SWOSU Blue has really relied on them to make space and make opportunities at the start. If they can get some miracle runs going, especially with the gun round here, it could be the shakeup that SWOSU need to put Rogers back into, or back on their back foot.
SWOSU electing to be very passive this round, with the exception of having a forward position in showers, but that's with an op, I believe, so just going to hang out there. But that amount of control has allowed for a 3rd defender to head their way out onto B. Out in the same position of Rogers State. Taking the fight. Griff gone down. Sugarfree out with a showstopper, and Wreck with 1 more. This is going to cut things very close indeed. The spike has been dropped, and Wreck in position, just chilling. Has some support from the site itself. Sugarfree there to find frags, and Sugarfree investing in another. You said they needed to have success, and there they do. 3 in a row.
Sugarfree saying, I don't want to go to a game 3. I want to end it here. The spot out is there. Information granted as Nolan is just like, I got nothing. Listen, if I can take 1 more, that's going to be good. And you do. Waiting for the flank, though. Sugarfree doesn't want to answer this in a 1v1. Instead, you're waiting for your teammate, and that's going to be the chase. Well done. Well played, SWOSU. Keep it $150. And now, at 11-11, we are that close to going to OT.
Indeed we are. No map point just yet. Our match point for that matter for SWOSU, as we're going to see the full 24 rounds possible. Up back out. Clarity. Was that player aggressive in shower last round that we didn't get to see get activated because nobody headed that direction? There's a lot of players there this time out. We may just see some aggression in this direction once again, and it will be. Op out. Ready to go. This first engagement could be massive if Shax goes for the swing.
Oh. That feels so bad. As any chamber, that feels so bad that you didn't land that shot.
This shot could be the key to survival for Rogers State in this engagement. Drifted is here. Everybody else is running the other way, but there's still a defender ready and waiting. Griff should worry about probably staying alive. With that telly, it's confirmed this is going to be a B hit.
They're flooding in. Oh my gosh, if they haven't fully checked and this smoke goes down and you get a kill, Griff could be a hero. The plant works their way, but gun is out and you get the kill, and all of a sudden Rogers are wondering what they need to do. Keep in mind the split is a little bit lopsided. This is going to be SWOSU. If they can find these picks, will put themselves in a great position, but all 5 are currently on the same side. Now looking to the sides, Griff is going to try and lay down the law here. Poison through though, lands it into SWOSU's pocket. They get the kills that they need. Molly goes over the top, and at least half will be granted their way. Nolan, though, with the burn and the kill, drops it to a 1v1. Are you kidding me? Nolan just needs to drop the orbital strike, and it's done. What? Nolan clutches it out, and Rogers are 1 away from pushing to a game 3.
What the hell was that? 3 people just standing in a molly. Oh my goodness. Nolan getting credit for that, but let's be clear. A mistake from SWOSU. Just trying to get the half, they got it, and then unfortunately whoever the last player was just took a little dip into the red sauce. It hurts. It's painful. That's
never go for the red sauce. Vincent's lesson 101.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's absurd.
Oh. And then that happens. Nolan says, beware the bullet soup as well. Sugar Free, though, with a little bit of a bomb, takes out Clarky, and at least you trade one back. Still, though, Rogers with the player advantage, looking to push in. Rec finds one with the stinger. There's no way this bounces back, right? There's no way they bounce back with such a thrifty buy situation. Take a look at how far Samsar is, though. And that's going to be a chance. However, the chase out, well spotted by Rogers, saying, hey, let's go ahead, collapse into sight.
They know the flank's coming. Sugar Free needs to get the gun out. Bucky in hand. Absolutely could be the difference maker if this Bucky can come and get activated. Activated, it will be! Damage done. Plant denied. Paint shells are out and more to find. No, Wreck there to deliver when needed. Overtime seems possible, but the HP is low on the back of Wreck. And more to come on the flank. Both players from the same position. Okay, grab that spike, Shax. We'll get there eventually. Could just dip out to the A site instead, committing to C.
Poison's off.
And that snake bite could do it. Gotta be careful if you're Wreck.
All comes down to this, but no, Samsara says, no, we're going to OT!
Open up the sky!
Oh my goodness. This game, from a bit of a slow map 1 to an utterly outrageous map 2. SWOSU Blue had the lead for the majority. Rogers State take it when it matters, and then they get pushed to overtime. Shout out Nolan, who's been just so consistent throughout the second half.
I mean, oh my gosh.
I also shout out Sugar Free, who went from like 8 and something in the first half to 21 and 18.
Yeah. I think everyone's stepping up. Like that's going to be the lay of the land here going into OT. Everyone has stepped up to make this OT happen on both ends of this both ends of the team.
Indeed. Time to roll, Rogers. Go to the defense. We'll see what SWOSU have to contend with on their first attacks round in overtime. Seems mostly worried about long, but obviously the telly can come into favor. But information denial, the name of the game early for SWOSU Blue. We saw this pretty consistently on their attack side. They would take this positioning, often rotate, sometimes not. It just kind of depended.
Oh, Clarity wins that 1v1 though. I said at the beginning, and I don't know how true it is now, but those 1v1s, those small 50-50s that land in your direction, always feel like some of those pivotal moments. Now with that kill, HP drawn up, SWOSU are looking to make play. Sugar Free bounces around the edge, is able to spot one, but Drifted runs him down. Samsara and Wreck get wrecked outside the door. Clarity able to trade it to a 3v3, so Drifted is out of the call, but Rogers is still up with 3. Nolan is able to find one more. Remember, Nolan looking for that 30 bomb if they can. And Nolan is not able to find it. Sugar Free sprays down 2. What a chance, Slapini. It's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Can you get one more? That's going to be a smoke to get out. Griff using that as cover and balancing the way back is spotted out. However, so is Slapini. Because of that, It is now just do or die Saplini. I mean, you have nothing to really cover your butt here. A quick fake tap if you can. The shell might not do enough. Bounces around. That's halfway down to the team rotate around. And yes, there is a kill. SWOSU push themselves to 13. Looking to try and take this game.
What an incredible couple of shots from Sugar Free. That was round winning, just instantaneously swinging from the elbow player straight into the head of the player's sight coming around the corner. That turns the tide, cuts it to the 1v2, and makes the difference for SWOSU Blue. It's Rogers State now taking their timeout and taking a moment to try and figure out what they want to do on their attack round, because this is a match point. Series on the line. If SWOSU come away with this one, game's over. Time to go home. And Rogers State not ready to roll. They're ready to continue towards sunset. But they need 2 in a row.
I mean, Rogers, though, they're going to fight this one hard. I think they're just, this timeout is specifically like, how badly do we want this, right? How bad do we want to try and catch SWOSU off guard? How badly do we want to shake up our game plan and shake up our entire playbook to get this series? I don't think a rush is out of the question. I don't think a huge shakeup of pace would be out of contention for them.
It's a risk.
It is.
It certainly could be what they need to find success. At the same time, well, they've had a whole lot of rounds in a row to try and figure that out throughout that second half, so we'll see what they go for. Same type of presence initially for Rogers State as we saw from SWOSU in the first parts of this round.
Oh.
Okay, Trailblazer. Not quite shot. A little bit of a missed opportunity for clarity, but the Rendezvous will bail them out without much of a problem.
I mean, yeah, they're safe, but that gives so much ground here as well. The poison is not going to be dropped. Clarity still in the corner. You're looking and trying to hear, and you didn't see someone turn, and Drifted finds that kill. What a moment, what a chance. And now the space in. Drifted's going to try and shell their way in, and they get the second. This is the Rays giving away the chances time and time again. Drifted is saying, give me a moment, and I'll take a mile. SWOSU down to 3.
Drifted been a little bit quiet over the course of that second half. Now coming alive when it matters most. 3 on 5. Trailblazer descended in, paved the way. It's the guiding light needing to be there, but both of those bits of utility not going to be as effective. But Sugar Free actually hits the paint shells. That's a lot of space in the back of the site. Still 3 remain, and already the Molly has been utilized. So they don't have that in the post plant. They gotta hurry this up, but pressure on the spike, tapping it.
The spike.
On the orbital. No one got the orbital. When did he get that?
I can't believe that happened. We are going into OT number 2. Holy moly.
I'm blown away that Nolan got that orbital. Must have gotten an orb because he didn't have 3 kills. I just don't know what. Must have been the long orb. Had to have been. Insanity. 13-13. And we're doing it all again for OT number 2. Time to roll for Rogers State. Their chance to get back into winning ways and pick up another map point opportunity. They had one already in regulation. Looking for another one here. The SWOSU Blue will put the pressure on towards the A site.
Well, let's see if they can do this again. Again, no one has really played fast on either side. They've taken their time, they slowed things down, and they're trying to find those perfect moments. However, Griff finds Nolan again. Remember, Nolan has been one of the top fraggers in this situation. That should give a bolster of confidence in those situations. Drifted, though, finds one back, is able to find a second, and looking for a third. Drifted has been stepping up so big. All these players literally running by leaps and bounds to try and get this game victory. The rest of SWOSU, though, sitting in their own right and praying for a moment on their own. 3v4. Rogers a step away from taking control of this OT. Down goes that plant. Shell goes out, trying to slow him down. Sugar Free finds Lapini, though. Samsara looking around on Lantern's side, and maybe they can find another.
Got the opening pick, denied by Drifted. He's going to look for more in this engagement and does it from Lamps. On the showstopper from Drifted is so good. Caught in the corner. Griff will get the kill. But it's cut to the 1-on-2. Sugar Free has been superb. Needs to be better here. Dodging on the guiding light. First touch on the satchel. It's not going to do it. Holding on the defuse. No, Shucks gets off of it. And this paint shell's going to buy some time, but with 30 HP, there's really not a lot to work with. Sugar Free confirming nobody on that. Spike not held, but Sugar Free hitting the shots. It's 14 again for SWOSU.
Switching sides.
I can't believe this is going on right now. I can't believe this is happening. They are literally toe to toe right now. And Rogers is... They are clawing their way. If I've ever seen a team quite literally like not wanting to tap out when they can barely see, this is what's happening right now. This is exactly what's happening, and I am just... This is a moment and a half. Getting into this though, on the defensive, Rogers need Drifted as well as Nolan to step up. They need them once again to make these hero plays. If they can, that'll be the dub.
Indeed, but SWOSU, remember, now they have their own map point to work with. It's been back and forth, the advantage in these overtimes. Rogers just a little bit further away at this point, up towards long. Got pretty much everybody here, just one player kind of hanging out towards Hookah. It's going to be the onslaught. The guiding light comes in as well. Griff alone, but lines him up. 2 in a row. Wreck has help from elbow, and that is game over for Rogers State. SWOSU Blue take